Welcome back to the Football Terrace. We're here live at the Al Thumama Stadium. It's a little sad. It's all been put away. You can see they're packing things up and they're putting things away as the World Cup is drawing to a close. It's been an amazing 3.5 weeks, but still that final to come. But we're here and we're building up to the return of the Premier League and, of course, the transfer window that opens in a couple of weeks' time. It's a few weeks to... It doesn't feel like a few weeks to January for me, because right now it's boiling hot. But I bet it does to you yourselves in the UK and other parts of Europe and America. Joined by KJ today, and we're talking some of the big transfer stories, rumours, and whatever else you want to call them that are circulating across social media. And the first big one that I want to start with relates to our club, Manchester United.
Okay.
Nazir Kinsella, one of the most credible voices in football journalism, has stated that Man United are ready. They are ready to match any bid that comes in this January for Joao Felix. Of course, there's a Cristiano Ronaldo-sized hole at the football club.
Yep.
What's your take? Before we get it, I want to say a big shout out to our sponsors, OneFootball. Make sure you get their app downloaded right now. The best one-stop shop for football on planet Earth. From transfer news, club news, live scores, statistics, and for free, you can watch Serie A games when they're live as well. It's fantastic. So get it downloaded now. Link in the description. But Joao Felix, KJ, to Manchester United. According to Nazir Kinsella, United are willing to match any bid.
Yo, that is some kind of determination for Manchester United. If this is to go through ahead, they clearly want their striker. The question is, what kind of striker do we want? We've been linked to the Gakpo, we've been linked to Ramos. Joao Felix is different to both of those. He's more of a false nine. He's more of a player that can drift and can fill holes, fill space, especially in the midfield as well, turn and drive. That is something that I do like about Joao Felix. I've got my questions about him over his physicality. Will he adapt to the Premier League? But my main thing will always be, if Ten Hag wants this guy, then I am all for him coming in. I'm not doing this whole because I don't like him or there's a worry about him. I'm just going to hate him. And when he comes, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I didn't want him in the first place. But the talent is clearly there. The talent has been there from day one at Benfica. And if Ten Hag is the man to fully unlock it, if his style of play is the thing that can actually get Joao Felix to fulfill his 100 million price tag that he had going into Atletico Madrid, then bring him to the theatre and let's see what he can do under Ten Hag. Not my first choice, but still a special talent either way.
Well, as Ben Jacobs told us the other day, there's going to be a lot of links to Manchester United when it comes to strikers because one, there is a necessity to buy one. Two, there's a number of talented strikers that are deemed or 100% available. So Man United are going to have to work on a number of deals at the same time. They will have their preference. Some will say that it's Ramos, some will say that it is Joao Felix. There'll probably be a truth somewhere in the middle. So Man United have got to work on multiple at the same time just to ensure that they don't get scarpered. Because, of course, Arsenal are heavily linked with Joao Felix. Today, that's been played down by some of the Italian press in Damasio, saying that Arsenal want him and Arsenal have, put some serious work into the situation with on personal terms. However, okay, on the side of that, you've got to look at the situation when it comes to the money. The money that they're being asked for is a hell of a lot. Do Arsenal Football Club have the ability to move into that 100, 120 million pound mark, which Atletico Madrid could be asking for? But Arsenal, as we say, they could be in for him. And I'm getting to a point now with transfers, whenever I see Man United or an Arsenal and they talk about it being too expensive, that's just public negotiations. That is, for me, a way of saying, you know what, we're not going to pay stupid money. Because remember, Atletico Madrid don't want Joao Felix anymore. Joao Felix wants to leave. That drives down the price and has driven down the price of players since day dot. So this notion that it's going to cost 120, 130 million, I don't agree with. Paris Saint-Germain are being seen as the front runners. Now, for me, the bit that doesn't sit right... Well, PSG are being sounded out as the front runners for him by certain European journalists. But I'm challenging that. Doesn't mean they won't get him, but I'm challenging the logic I'm hearing. The logic is that PSG will do anything to sign these good young players. But Joao Felix doesn't want to be a backup young player at a football club. He wants to now be the main man. He's in his early mid-20s. He's been suppressed footballing-wise at Ati for a while now. He wants to go in. Arsenal have got a potential starting berth for him with Jesus being out. Chelsea have got holes. Man United certainly do. PSG don't. He ain't starting games over Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. That isn't happening right now. Now, maybe they'll say, listen, we're losing Mbappe in the summer. You're going to be the future after that. But that's a risk in case Mbappe don't go. What if Mbappe picks up an injury and Real Madrid don't sign him and he stays another year?
Maybe they're using the Messi factor. Like, he is definitely, because the rumour is going to Inter Milan. So maybe it's like, yo, we'll get you now, hold tight, Messi will leave, you go in.
There are multiple things to look at here, but viewers, where do you think Joao Felix is going to end up? Man United fans, do you believe these stories from Nazir Kinsella that we're looking like we're going to try and match the bid that any club make? Now, kind of staying with Arsenal, interesting news today regarding Mudryk. Now, Mudryk is a player who has been on his knees for an Arsenal move. Highly talented winger, very skillful, huge ceiling. And he's one of those players that, because Arsenal got linked in the summer, I don't know about you, I've certainly been doing this as you know, because we cover the top six.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Shakhtar games when I can, predominantly in the Champions League, because you want to see what the players are looking like.
Yeah.
Well, you know we watch the Champions League games because of our deal with another sponsor, and we're watching them all. And you watch him closer because you're like, oh, is he coming to the Prem? You want to have a bigger opinion. And he looks absolutely mustard. But what has been stated today is that Arsenal are moving ever closer to an imminent bid. We know that Arteta has confirmed that signings will be made. Yeah. Signings will be made this January. Mudryk is still a player that was part of their priority. He was part of their process, and they're looking like they're going to bid to bring him in. I've just got a feeling that, irrespective of the striker position and DM position, I think this young man is going to become an Arsenal player in January. What's your thoughts on that kind of deal?
I think it's an excellent deal. I think getting a player of his talent and ability, mixed in with his desire and want to play for Arsenal, you jump on that, like, hands down. He's not been shy about his interest in joining, in wanting. And Arsenal do need a bigger, better squad now. Like, they're going to be competing on all fronts in the Europa League, FA Cup, and the Premier League. And for them to sit on the level saying the season started well, we're fine, would be negligence of the highest order. So Mudryk is someone that can move the needle. He can bring something different to Arsenal. And it gives Arteta options that you can move around. Do you play Martinelli up front now while Jesus is out and put Mudryk on the left? Do you trust Nketiah to do that role and have Mudryk and Martinelli battle it out on the left-hand side? Does he do something miraculous and maybe moving on to the right and compete with Saka? Like, that kind of problem for a manager is wonderful to have. And Arsenal making that signing is a sign that they are really and truly gunning for that title, and makes it even easier for them to go and do it.
Look, and I agree with that. And a lot of people all season, and I've had this break in the middle for the World Cup, but this notion has been, well, Arsenal will get some injuries, they won't sign anybody in January, they'll fall off, they won't have a strong enough squad. What's all the hype about? Well, this signing of Mudryk is a finger in the eye. Yeah. It is a statement. It is a moment where Arsenal can say, listen, we're still here. We ain't going nowhere. We're about to bring in another superbly and supremely talented young individual to be part of this revolution under Mikel Arteta. And that isn't the only players they're looking at. Joao Felix, we've already mentioned. Yeah. They're heavily linked with the move for Ferran Torres. Amongst other individuals, Vlahovic's name's been mentioned, but that's very much been played down by Arsenal. And I think Arsenal are almost saying, listen, and this is also a sign of strength. Yeah. We've moved on. Mm-hmm. We've moved on. We wanted you. You didn't answer our calls, or even if you did, you've chosen somebody else. Because that narrative, it's funny that now that he's doing badly at Juve, the narrative that he didn't ignore the calls is changing. And what I said to Arsenal fans that want to push that narrative, oh, no, he definitely did. He just chose him over us. Listen, I would rather now go with the narrative that he rejected us, because you've got the power card. Yeah. You've got the power card here. But it sends a message to other players that are linked to Arsenal. Like, strike while the iron is hot. Strike while they want you. Because if Arsenal continue to grow, Arteta continues to improve, this young squad continues its journey in the direction of which it's going, you want to be part of that. Yeah. And it's why when we looked at Joao Felix a few moments ago, if Man United and Arsenal go head-to-head for Joao Felix, I'm worried. If Chelsea and Arsenal go head-to-head for Joao Felix, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'd be worried, because Arsenal are getting back to the peak of their powers. They're looking dangerous. They're guaranteeing that Champions League football. And there's just a feel-good factor there. Man United, listen, we can get these players. Chelsea can land these players. We know we can. But I just don't fancy going up against Arsenal toe-to-toe right now. But Mudryk, he'll be a phenomenal signing for the football club. I really do believe that. He'll push the Sakas, he'll push the Martinellis, and that's exactly what's needed. They're also linked with somebody else. Now, I want to get your take on this because there was an incident at the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's 2 days running now. There have been big, credible reports, some stemming from Italy.
Okay.
The Arsenal Football Club are looking at and talking to Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic, we know how good he is. He was very good for Serbia during this World Cup. One of their kind of standout players in a team that really didn't perform to its optimum best. But Arsenal Football Club are linked. What's your initial thoughts on the idea of him joining Granit Xhaka at Arsenal?
If you guys follow me on Twitter, you should know about the GIF. And I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know if that is something that Arsenal should do. Is he a player that he actually needs? They actually need? He's more of an offensive kind of midfielder. Yes, he can play deeper and play like a combative midfielder in there, but his best work happens when he's further up the pitch, when he's driving with the ball, when he's playing his teammates in and through on goal. They've got Odegaard. They've got Fabio Vieira. I don't think it's something Arsenal would need right now. We know that SMS has been trying to call everybody to get a move out of Lazio. So his agent's been working for like 5 years to get that move, and it's just never materialised. I do not see it happening. I do not see it if Arsenal even need a player like that, because he's in his prime years, 27, 28 years old. Arsenal going with a younger project. I don't see how it fits.
And I understand your point. The thing is, it's come from Matteo Moretto, who is he's a very credible and up-and-coming journalist from Italy.
Yeah.
So that's why, for me, there's a little bit of credence to this. Now, I've seen most gooners say absolutely not. That means Xhaka's leaving. Xhaka's having his best ever season. This makes no sense because they don't get on. I'll also say this about professional people. If they have to be teammates, they'll have to be teammates.
Yeah.
If this is what Arsenal want, what Arteta wants, they have to do it. And I was just making sure I was reading the story right here and reading the information correctly. For different reasons, Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham did not get on at Manchester United.
That is very
Look
true.
how good them two, along with Ollie and Dwight York, did for a period of time at Manchester United. A treble and 3 Premier Leagues on the bounce.
Yeah.
So you can create success even if players have needle between themselves. But I also think Arteta is a good enough manager to bridge that gap. Reading the actual report here, it says that Arsenal reportedly want Lazio midfielder Milinkovic-Savic and have recently been in contact with the player's representation. Mikel Arteta's side are preparing the ground for a possible offer in June, as the 27-year-old does not want to sign a new deal. Now, that's according to reports, and then they're quoting what Matti Moretto has had to say. I look at it from this point of view. I'm a bit like you. I'm not sold on whether or not he can do it in the Premier League. Why is he 27 and nobody's really come in to do it, to really make a big bid? But he's also a player that every time I see him play looks good.
Yeah.
Looks really, really good. And I just sort of think to myself, if Arsenal could add him to their talent, I know he's not a young player.
Yeah.
But you can't keep buying just youth. You look at Gabriel Jesus. He's not old, by the way.
Yeah.
But he's got that experience, and his inclusion. He understands how to win. He's that little bit older, more mature, more settled down in life. He's coming in and been a lead figure in the Arsenal dressing room. So I think the biggest issue is the Xhaka, Serbia, Switzerland, Albania connection. There's a big thing going on there. But the fact that this has come from a credible source tells me that Arsenal are at the very least looking at it. Yeah. Maybe it isn't a first choice. The likes of Moussa have been linked, Danilo, Yuri Tillemans is still on the agenda. This may be, and what I would say to Arsenal fans, because some of you have probably already stopped listening and you're already commenting. And I always say, listen first, comment second. This could just be Arsenal putting some groundwork in as a backup option should their priorities not come through.
And it's for June. It's not like it's for January. It's not like he's coming straight in. So this is more of a summer move. And they're probably evaluating the options. I personally just think it's his agent still trying to get that move away from Lazio.
Trying to stir up. And,
Yeah.
and mate, you could be absolutely right in that. You really, really could. Of course, we already spoke earlier on today about Chelsea looking at the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. We're going to see Chelsea heavily linked to a number of forwards over the next few weeks. They'll get linked to Ramos. They've already been linked to Vlahovic. They've been linked to Cristiano Ronaldo. They're looking at a lot of the same. There's a lot of flies around today. Maybe it's as the sun's come back out. It's crazy. But they're going to be linked to a lot of people as well. So we're going to keep you updated in the coming days in relation to that. But the big news, just as a recap for you, Man United reportedly are going to match any offer made by Arsenal, Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain for Joao Felix. Of course, they've already made an official inquiry for the Benfica and Portugal forward Ramos, and Arsenal. A bid seen as imminent and coming very, very soon for the starlet Mudryk, the Shakhtar Donetsk forward Mudryk. We want your thoughts and we want your feelings on this. Leave your comments below. Please make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. It's very important to us that you get that done. KJ, a pleasure as always.
You know what, Terry?
Yeah?
It's a pleasure to be at the Alpha Mama as well.
It is. I was about to say, we're at the Alpha Mama. Maybe the last time we'll be at this stadium filming. Maybe, but we might be back. We don't know. But they're packing. I mean, they obviously can't take the stadium down. But by the time we come back, it's all everything around it might be gone. Might be gone. But yeah, it's another beautiful day here in Doha. We're gonna go and chill now. Enjoy the rest of your days. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. Download OneFootball now, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.